All right, everybody, welcome to today's episode of Movie Lines and Scripture Times. And today I want to read a short story called The Parable of the Floating House. This is a short story I was able to write based upon the film Pixar's Up, so I hope you enjoy. There once was a man named Carl Fredrickson, a 78-year-old man living all alone in his home. When his life began to crumble, a promise made long ago surged deep in his heart. An adventure abandoned in the past was now his number one goal. His adventure: float his house to the mystical land of Paradise Falls, in honor of his wife, Ellie. The adventure would be dangerous, yet the joy of the journey could remind Carl of the life he once lived, and the life he is yet to have. However, there is something keeping Carl from finding his true call to adventure: his house. A house filled with memories, a house filled with memorabilia, a house filled with burdens. Everything Carl holds dear is in this house. He not only floats to Paradise Falls with the place he calls home, but the place with everything he is yet to let go in his life. The adventure could not happen without thousands of balloons to keep his home afloat. However, the true adventure cannot be completed with his home dragging him down. When he floats, there's lightning storms, wind variations, and gravity, which presents danger. On the ground, there's trees, rocks, and a pack of wild dogs, led by his childhood hero, that bump his home more and more into a burden. Slowly on the adventure, Carl realizes he must make a choice. Is his home worth the cost to keep? This includes his lifestyle, influence, integrity, and friendships. Luckily, with every trial that stumbled in the way of Carl's journey, he makes the choice of a lifetime. He lets go of his home, his possessions, his regrets, everything holding him back. Now that his home is gone, a new light shines in Carl's countenance. The trials are not removed, but his tool belt of ways to navigate the trials can now be used without the need to worry about a massive floating house. Imagine the relief. He now finds joy in life. Instead of seclusion in his home, he's out and about with his friends. He's laughing with them. He's crying with them. Yet he has now fulfilled his true call to adventure, discovering the purpose of life, and thus concludes the parable of the floating house. I hope you enjoyed this story. Let me know what you thought down below in the comments, and have a great Sabbath day. I'll see you next time. Take care.